earning less than $31,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, you should still check out this program. Visit ssa.gov/extra help. Medicare costs are covered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, I'm Tony Young, and every week I will be your guide to the music of the Fab Four with my show With the Beatles. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, those four lads from Liverpool. First airings are Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. with repeats on Thursdays and Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Tune in to catch Beatlemania.
So my doctor told me to go online to check my test results, but I didn't know how to do that. Thankfully, I could turn to Link to Care WA for help. With Link to Care WA, I was able to learn how to use online health portals, use telehealth to talk to my doctor virtually, and manage my prescriptions online. I called the hotline and spoke to a real person who taught me the skills I needed. Call Link to Care WA at 866-757-1832 or visit linktocarewa.org.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Don't forget to log on www.rainieravenue.radio.world.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Clean Greens Living, broadcasted here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. It is your host, Queen Bree, in the building. How's everyone doing today? How was everybody's weekend? This weekend, listen, y'all, the book got me. Facebook got me. You know how they have those little short stories that TV shows, soap operas? Y'all, I done downloaded it and was watching these shows. Don't fall for the trap, y'all. Don't fall for the trap. But you know, the shows are good, but it's crazy. It's crazy out there. Anyways, happy Black History Month. I don't know if anyone heard, but Black history is the United States history, and we don't need no permission to celebrate us and the people that has come before us, that has done the work so that we all can do what we do. So I'm giving a shout out to my people today, a special shout out. Stay strong. Make sure that you are drinking your water and minding your business these days and relax on this here Black History Month. Announcements for today is the Call to Conscience Museum is now open here at Rainier Avenue Radio. So if you guys are in Seattle, please come and support the Call to Conscience Museum, where we have different exhibits and we talk about the history of Seattle. And the museum is open from 11 to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. I tried to do that and I did not kill it. But anyways, so question of the day. I think the question of the day is, why is studying African American history important to you? That is the question of the day. Why is studying African American history important to you? My answer would be is that it's important to know where we came from so that we don't make the same mistakes, right? And I think that that's why they want us to stop talking about Black history, so we can forget everything and history repeats itself. So it's very important to go for yourself. Like, yes, we learn in school. Yes, our parents teach us stuff, but you have to go and you have to do the readings. You have to learn for yourself the history. I am finding out so many different things that I didn't even know existed. Every year, I am blessed to find out something new that I did not know existed in history. And we'll talk about that a little bit more next week because I have a very special guest in the building. But Black history for me is important because you need to know where you came from. You need to know why we fight so hard. You need to know why it's important to stay in your communities and do the work and not just be about yourself and staying at home and listening to what others have to say. All right. So we have a very special guest today. We have Dr. Renee McCoy in the building. Dr. Renee McCoy is a program manager of African Americans Reach and Teach Health Ministry. And she's going to be in here talking about her events coming up and the work that she does in this community. I've attended some of her events and it's really informative. And I'm glad that there's someone out here teaching teaching the information that she teaches. So we're going to bring her on and let her talk about the work that she does in the community and why it's important for us to know this. So everyone, please welcome on Dr. Renee McCoy.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Brian. I'm just thrilled. I am in this community. I live in this community, and I had no idea this was going on right up here on Rainier. I live in North Beacon Hill.
Wow.
And I am thrilled to be here. I am thrilled to be here. Well, let me tell you a little bit about
before you go, can I just say really quick that is some kind of history for Rainier Avenue Radio, that this is a Black man who owns this building doing this work in the radio and making sure our voices get out on the streams. So shout out to Tony Benton, who does this work and works tirelessly in the community and in radio. So yeah. So I just wanted to say that is a nice little history piece for Rainier Avenue Radio, is that Tony took over the Columbus Theater. He does events here. We do radio here. The Call to Conscious Museum is here, where it's uplifting communities in around the world, but also in Seattle. So if you ever have a chance, come check it out.
If I have I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna make it my business.
Yes, follow Rainier Avenue Radio, y'all. Thank you.
This is amazing, and it's inspiring. Radio folks can't see how old I am, but I'm old, and and it's so good to be at an age where you're still learning something.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to always learn something more about Black folks and positive stuff and strong stuff and uplifting stuff and inspiring stuff. I believe, truly believe that hope is our greatest act of resistance, and that's where we are in these times. As you said, I'm I'm actually HIV programs manager at African American Reach and Teach Health, which is, finally known as ARTH. And what we do, what ARTH does, is we address health inequities for Black and African American people and other people of color. So most of our organization began as a response to HIV and AIDS epidemic over 20 years ago, because of the disproportionate impact of AIDS and HIV on Black people. And, as time went on and the disease became more manageable, ARTH moved on into other areas. And so a lot of what we do now has to do with health issues that affect Black seniors and Black elderly people. So, certainly check us out. We've got a lot of programs coming up. But as I said, I do HIV and AIDS. I'm a medical anthropologist, and I've been doing this work since the disease first surfaced in 1981.
So how did you get involved? Because I know just from like the work, how you learn stuff in school, right. You learn stuff in community. I do have families that is impacted by HIV.
Okay.
I did watch, and I hate to say this, but this is true. It's like I watched Pose, and right. Pose really magnified that time and how people were treated and how Black people were treated. So how did you get inspired to get involved?
Well, I'm also a minister. I'm also clergy. And I was pastoring a church in Harlem, in New York City in 1981. And woke up one day that and there was this disease that was killing folks. And at that time, AIDS looked really bad back then. And what we don't know, and what we well kept secret, is that from the very beginning, Blacks were disproportionately impacted by HIV. We were 25% back then, other people with HIV. And I'm also a lesbian, and I'm Black, and a lot of the people that I worked with at that time were LGBTQ people, and I watched my friends and and the people around me and the people in my church just die and get sick. And I'm also from Detroit, and I moved back to Detroit and did some work there. And I moved here about 15 years ago. So I came into HIV at the very beginning, and so it's a passion for me. You know, I love my people, and I don't want to see any more. I know what AIDS can do. I know what it can look like. I know what it can feel like, and it's still a secret. The event that I'm here to sort of promote is on Friday. It's going to be National Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day nationally. On Saturday here in Seattle at Plymouth Church, we're having an event. It's a collaborative event that includes a number of organizations in our area, Pocan, Arth, the city of the health department. I don't know everybody who's there. NAACP is with us. Gen Pride, a number of other organizations. We got together and we put together a town hall meeting, and we're talking. The theme of our meeting is HIV, Blacks and HIV. Why bother? Because we're not talking about what's going on anymore. HIV is still a Black thing, and I always say it's thing, not thing. You know, we know what a thing can do.
Yes.
And HIV is still a Black thing. Let me tell you, Breon, there are 3.8 Black people in the state of Washington, right? There are but 17%, more than 17% of the people who are living with HIV in the state of Washington are Black people. Over 20% of the new diagnoses of HIV are Black people. Let me tell you again, 3.8% of the people in Washington state are Black. In this country, over 40% of the people who are living with HIV are Black people. Over 40% of the new diagnosis of HIV are Black people. HIV is still a thing. It's not a thing. You know, a thing is clean. A thing, we know what a thing can do. And a thing can take us up out of here. A thing can disrupt our home. A thing can disrupt our lives. A thing can make it so that HIV will become part of our history. It's not. It has been. And we think because, people are living with it, that's all right. We don't have to deal with it. But it's still a thing, which means that and the other piece to this that we don't know about is that we have medication now that can protect you, PrEP, that can protect you from getting HIV. 95% PrEP. If you take this medication, you are 95% less likely to get HIV. They're not telling Black folks that. If you use IV drugs, you are 75% protected from HIV if you're taking PrEP, this medication. They're not telling us that. Yeah. They're not telling us that.
And the thing about it is a lot of people, it seems like they still think it's just a LGBTQ situation, but there are straight people that are dealing with this as well. So with taking PrEP, is that something that they as well should be looking into taking?
Everybody, if you're Black, you need to look at PrEP. If you're having sex, you need to look at PrEP. If you're using drugs of any kind, you need to be taking PrEP. We get off on this LGBTQ thing. You don't. It's about if you're having sex. Nobody tells if you're having sex with the same sex, other sex. If you're having sex, you are at risk for HIV. We're a people who we grow up, everybody in the same neighborhood, the same area, the same family. I got to tell you, when we are a people of faith, and I know you are a person of faith as well. And I love Matthew 25 when Jesus is saying to folks, in the end, God's going to say, did you feed my people? Did you clothe them? Did you take care of my people? If you did not, what you did to the least of them, you did it unto me. Now, there is no out clause in that scripture. Jesus didn't say, well, if you in the last days, all you got to do is say, well, they were gay, so I didn't feed them. They were gay, so I didn't heal them. There is no out clause. The love of God is for all of us. and health is for all of us. It's time for us to stop throwing each other away.
Yeah.
That's what makes this current political situation so powerful, is that they know if we get distracted and we get to talking about who's doing what,
Yeah.
we're gonna throw each other away. All we know, about liberation is what it looks like for them, and but we don't know what it looks like for us, and what liberation looks like for us. Like I said, I come from Detroit. All we had was each other, and
Yeah.
all we got is each other. And what got us through slavery was not picking and choosing, who's the best slave, what slave. All of us needed to be free.
Mhm.
And we've got to get back to that.
Yeah, we do.
HIV is a way to separate us. Sexuality, sexual identity is a way to separate us,
Yeah, skin color.
when
is a
it
way to
comes
separate
down
us.
to
Yeah.
it, what we're saying is all you got to do, Mr. White Man, is walk into my house and say, I thought you were gay.
Yeah.
I thought you were trans. And that's going to make it all right. Nothing makes it all right. Nothing makes oppression and illness and death all right.
Yeah.
And this event we're having on Saturday is an opportunity for us to come and talk about HIV. Why bother? We got folks that from the health department who are and everybody's Black. We got folks that from the health department are going to give us the stats on it. Going to talk about how to get prevention, how to get some help, how to get care. We got people who are living with HIV who are going to talk about the reality of it. We got people who are going to talk about, and then it'll be an opportunity for us to have a community conversation so we can talk to each other. I understand, folks, we don't know what's different.
Yeah.
But, heterosexual, especially women, heterosexual women are getting HIV, and Black heterosexual women are disproportionately affected.
Yeah. And I love how you said that was a word. First of all, thank you. But I do love. I always try to stress people, just regardless, to get in their community, to get to know people. Because when we hear things about certain people, LGBTQ or AIDS or Hispanics or Black people, if we're not in our community getting to know them and getting to talk and hear the situation, we do tend to be in our own little bubble. I have experience being around people who have HIV. My uncle had a friend who died of HIV, and I know that I didn't even know him that well, but he was such a sweet human being, and that impacted me. That was my first time ever experiencing being around someone with HIV. But like you said, I just moved in love. I wasn't, stressed, and I was really young, so I wasn't stressed about, oh my God, he's cooking, we're gonna get it, or he's touched. There's so much education around it, and it's crazy to me that people still are so uneducated about it.
Well, now they just don't talk about it. Now it's just, we think, well, that's their problem. And the problem is that there is no their problem. Every problem in the Black community is our problem.
Yeah.
And we are not going to get rid of any of it.
If we don't talk about it.
And there are it amazes me that when HIV really was out there, you got gay folks in the choir. Preacher didn't put them out the choir, and they didn't stop taking their money. We got the stereotypic hairdressers and stuff. You don't stop getting your hair done. You don't stop getting your nails done. You don't stop. You don't stop. If you got a child that's gay, you don't stop loving that child. And yet, all of a sudden, because it's the thing to do.
I know, and I just Deacon Janice said they are us, and they are. And I did like how you mentioned Matthew, because that is my go-to all the time.
Absolutely.
Because when we start to talk about what Jesus said or what God says, and I go back and look, it's like they are talking about community and not creating crimes against humanity when we talk about it as a whole. And people take these scriptures and they just twist it for their own thing. Right. But like you said, and I just wanted to reiterate this, like you guys really picking up on this, is that it doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. It's how you treated God's people while you were here on this earth.
That's right.
What did you do for them? And a lot of people get caught up in, money And money, for me, I have to remind myself that money is, yes, we need it here to live in this world, but it is made up. And then this class is made up to keep us apart so that we don't come together and talk about this. But this is something that we do need to talk about because it is out there. I know a handful of people in my life that is impacted by HIV.
That's right.
And I pray for them and I love them and for their peace of mind every day, and try to talk about it with the kids, safe sex and all that stuff. But I just really wish people understood that, like you said, until we come together, that is my, like you said, greatest hope is that we come together before it's too late. Because with this administration, he's at the Hispanics now, but once they're gone, he's going to keep going down that list of people.
That's right.
And until we come together, but we're going to start here talking about HIV and coming to that community event, because that is impacting our community as well.
That's right. And if throughout history, if you can start that with page 1 all the way to the end, and if you want to find God, you look where people are hurting, where people are oppressed. Mm-hmm. That's where God shows up. God shows up and God shows out, where people are hurting, where they're broken, where they are striving, where they're trying to reach their possibilities. Yeah. That's where you find God. You don't find God in the little healthy little places that we shine up,
Yeah.
So many of us are sitting around, putting silver polish on our chains, thinking that that's going to make us look good. They still the slave chains, and we sitting there polishing them. But until we, like I said, hope is our greatest act of resistance. That's something that they can't take away from us. That's what our history was about. The slaves hoped for freedom. They hoped for a better time, and they got it. We failed to really stand on the promises of God. And what the promises of God says is that you are good, you are beautiful, you are my creation, you are in my image.
Amen.
Hey,
Amen.
God gets better. And that's what HIV is. It's still a Black thing, and we've gotta do it. One thing people need to do is get tested. We can get home. We're going to be giving away some home tests on Saturday. Come get a test. You can get on Amazon. You get on Amazon and find everything.
Oh, no. I didn't know there were tests.
Get a home test. Test. And if you get tested, come and get care. If you are in care, they're not making Black people. They're not getting care for HIV. Yeah. There's pills out there. There's medication. They're not getting it to us. Come on now. What makes us think they're giving it to us when they're not giving us enough medication for diabetes?
Proper health care. You can't even go in there.
Right.
You can't even go in there and really just tell them your concerns. They just dismiss you.
Right.
So we do have to be proactive about what we do.
That's right.
What we do. And I've loved how, I wish that we can do this again, where the Black Panthers started their own medical care for people of color. I wish that we can.
Well, it's interesting you said that clinic is still going on. Carolyn Downs.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely. Carolyn Downs was started by the Black Panthers, and Carolyn Downs Clinic is a walk-in clinic, folks. It's a community clinic. Go there. You can get care for HIV. You can get tested for HIV. Carolyn Downs over there on 21st and Yesler.
Ooh.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful place.
Nice.
Walk in.
Get tested for sure. We have to make sure we're getting tested. I have not heard that lately. Is about getting tested, making sure. Don't be ashamed to tell your partner we need to get tested before we do anything, because what's not romantic is being plagued with some kind of STD or HIV because you didn't want to have that conversation with your partner.
I need to tell you, syphilis is on the rise here as well.
Syphilis? See, I feel like I heard that. There's so many things on the rises that we don't know. Okay, let's talk about syphilis really quick.
I don't know the numbers.
No, you don't have to talk about the numbers. We can just talk about the impacts, because at the end of the day, people need to know more about sexually transmitted diseases is still out there.
Syphilis is still out there. Chlamydia still out there.
People I don't think that they just Russian roulette it all the time. So come on Saturday, right?
Saturday, 2:00.
2:00.
We got food, so come at 1:45. Food.
You're right.
we serving chicken, so you know what I'm saying.
It's Black History Month, y'all.
Yeah, come at 1:45 because we got food. And it's a safe place. It's the Hildebrand Room at Plymouth Church.
Nice. I love coming to your events. I brought my kids to your events, and kids be listening, y'all. They can bring the kids
Yes,
around. Bring
absolutely.
the kids. They have questions. They have conversations. They also have people in their life that has HIV and has had conversations with those people. And I'm blessed to be able to have that for my children and my community. So make sure that you are in your community talking about hard topics, about HIV, about this political climate right now that we're in. How are we going to take care of God's people while we're here on earth? That is the most important thing. Not about race, not about who you prefer to have sex with. It is about people, God's people. Thank you for coming in,
Oh, it's
Dr.
my
Renee.
pleasure.
Always a pleasure hearing and listening to
My
you.
pleasure.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Clean Greens Living. And remember, why is learning Black history important to you? You guys can still answer this question in the comments if you watch later. All right. Talk to you later. Have a good day.